What's good, YouTube? Back up and moving. Mr. Undefeated here on Boxing Socialist. I want to talk because before I made a prediction, and I need to get into it. This is gonna be a two-part video. I made a prediction saying that the fight isn't gonna happen. And I want to just give you guys my thoughts on that, because I feel that the fight still is not going to happen. Just because Floyd came back doesn't mean that he's going to be fighting Pacquiao. In my opinion, he doesn't really need to fight Pacquiao to prove anything to me. You know, Pacquiao really doesn't show me anything that I'm dying to see, man. You know, like I didn't pay for the Pacquiao fight for Mosley. And I'm so glad I didn't. You see what I'm saying? It was not worth $60 of my hard-earned money. It wasn't. If you guys like Pacquiao that much, you know, if you think he's that good, then okay, you know. But it wasn't moving me at all. Excuse me. But I don't think this fight is going to happen because. And I'm going to break it down for you guys lovely this time, right? I don't think this fight is going to happen because of one character and one character only. Yes, I know we're tired of hearing his name. I'm tired of hearing his name too. But it's all because of Bob Arum, okay? This is what the fans have to realize. You have to realize this if you're a true fan of boxing. If you're a true fan of this mega sport, you have to go behind the scenes and diagnose what is going on between and why this fight didn't get signed. There's no way. I'm not even saying that Manny didn't want to fight. There's no way. Excuse me. That is paper. There's no way that Pacquiao didn't want to fight. There's no way Floyd didn't want to fight. You know, they wanted to fight, man. I don't take it as Pacquiao being scared. You know, Pacquiao just does what his bosses tell him to do. Remember, Pacquiao has a boss. Believe it or not, Pacquiao is not his own boss. Okay, Bob Arum runs everybody over there. Everybody over there. Bob Arum runs everybody. You have to take that into consideration, man. Okay? Bob Arum has had the greats under him. You realize this isn't just Bob Arum now. You know, I believe Bob Arum is damn near a billionaire. He's had Sugar Ray under him. You don't believe me? Go look it up. He's had Hagler under him. He's had Oscar De La Hoya under him. He's had, of course, Floyd Money Mayweather under him. And to the Philippines king, not all of them, because a lot of them, they even said over there, there's a lot of people over there who believe Floyd will beat Pacquiao. But to the Philippines king, he now has Pacquiao under him, okay? Let me break it down to you in a different sense, okay? And like I said before, remember, Floyd is the promoter and he is the boxer. It's like being a Bob Arum and a Pacquiao, okay? It's like this. I'm going to break it down to you in hip-hop terms. If you don't like it, it don't matter. But just listen to what I have to say. It's pretty cool. Because I really feel this way. At one point, Biggie Smalls was the employee of Puff Daddy Combs. P. Diddy, whatever the fuck you want to call him. In another sense, we have Tupac underneath Suge Knight. And just to throw in some, you know, splat at, we have Fat Joe, excuse me, Big Pun underneath Fat Joe. Okay? And this is real talk. Go do your research. This is This is crazy, man. This is why I don't fault Floyd for doing what he does with his business. You know, as the other guy was saying, T Street. I don't fault him for what he's doing with his own business. So listen what I have to say though. At one point, go check this out. The last interview before Biggie Smalls died, he said they were like, so how everything, the people at the studio were saying, how is everything, Biggie, how's everything with you and Bad Boy, pretty much. And he was saying, you know, well, Diddy's my artist. He said this, go look it up. Diddy's my artist. He said this obviously when he was alive. On video. So go look it up. They were like, hold up. But Diddy owns the label. How is he your artist? And he was like, man, Diddy's my artist. Because at that moment in time, Biggie Smalls was tired of being under Puff Daddy. He's making money for Diddy. Mad money for Diddy, okay? Dropping beautiful albums, beautiful singles that sell out the ass. People don't think that. A single back then was sold in the motherfucker. You know? You could get, people back then used to always buy CDs with just those one or two songs, the song and the instrumental on them back then. You know? So Biggie, after being in the business for a little while, he wasn't in there for long. After being in the business for a while, because he went from 19 to 24. After being in the business for a little while, Biggie finally said, you know, I want to have my own label. You know, this is where the speculation comes from, and some people believe that Diddy had Big killed. Some people believe that Suge had Big killed, but whatever have you. So right then and there, you see a separation. Even though he's the boss, he's under him. Biggie wants to fan out. You see what I mean? Another scenario. Tupac. Just keep in mind, I'm gonna come back to everything. Tupac went to jail, and he got bailed out of jail by Suge Knight. We all know this. For like 1.4 million or something like that. And so right now, when he got bailed out of jail, it's sort of like saying Suge basically owns Tupac. You see what I mean? You owe me a lot of money, homie. So what happened was Pac ended up going crazy. Not like that, but he ended up putting out phenomenal music. You remember when Tupac blew up crazy? After he came out of jail, his music just went through the roof. So he was easily able to pay back Suge. Of course he paid him back. Tupac didn't want no part of Suge. Not saying Tupac is anything of all that shit, but back then, Suge ran shit, believe it or not. And Suge is big as fuck. If you stand next to him, it's a different story compared to just running your mouth about homeboy, you know? He's a big ass dude. And Pac is not big at all. We all know this. Pac is small. So he paid him back. And then Pac went on, and this is why I believe Pac got killed. Pac went on to say, you know, this is around the time when Biggie and Tupac are friends, they're cool. Pac went on to say, yo, we need to stop all this bickering and beefing and unite this East Coast, West Coast thing. He says this on an interview. He was like, all the shooting gotta stop. We gotta unite before it tears us apart. So, he's basically saying, he also said, I want to start excuse me, my own label. You know, he wants to start his own label, just like Suge Knight has his own label. He wants to start his own label. You know, and I think now look at this from Suge's point of view. Okay, if Suge loses Tupac, just like if Diddy lost Biggie, there goes their bread and butter. You see what I mean? The guy who's making multiple millions of dollars is leaving. You're going to lose all your multi-millions of dollars also, because they realize that they could do everything on their own. They've been watching the boss do it. You see what I mean? So what happens is, same thing with Fat Joe. I mean, Fat Joe and Big Pun. Big Pun, and this is on video too. Go look at it. They were like, "How you feel about your status right now with Terror Squad?" Big Pun said this from his own mouth. He said, "I love Terror Squad, but I really want to do my own label. I want to start handling my own papers, my own checks." You know, he wants his own label also. So you start to realize now. Let's head over to boxing real quick. Floyd was under Bob Arum. At one point, Floyd said, "I want to do my own thing. I want to be my own promoter." Bob Arum at this time didn't really feel that Floyd was going to be as big as he is nowadays. Nobody knew that, you know. So from, let's say from, he says after the Zab fight was the last fight that he spent with Bob Arum. But he was saying how, you know, he wants to be his own promoter. He basically wants to run his own show. Now Bob Arum told him, "You can pay this $750,000, and excuse me, you can leave out of your contract and go and do it on your own." You know. Now this is where Bob Arum messed up. It's different because he had, Oscar ended up leaving too. We're gonna get into that. He had Floyd Money Mayweather under him, working for him. It doesn't even sound right nowadays, you know. Young kids who watch boxing nowadays just know Floyd as being his own boss, you know. Doing whatever he wants, fighting whenever he wants. That's why he fights whenever he wants, because he is the promoter. He decides when he wants to fight. Unlike Pacquiao, who has to hear what Bob Arum says and says, you know, Bob Arum is saying you have to fight this day and this day, you know. So Floyd ends up leaving. This is just a big to do about why I think the fight is not going to happen. Floyd ends up leaving the company, okay? And this is also why I believe that Tupac ended up getting killed. I wouldn't really say Biggie as much. I think Biggie fell into the line of, it was an East Coast, West Coast thing. They already have a guy in jail stating that he got the money from Suge Knight to take down to the hitman to go and assassinate Tupac and Biggie Smalls. You know, some fat white guy they had in the jail cell. He started crying and everything, you know. I forgot where I saw that at. That's on video. I forgot where I saw that at. I think that's on the Resurrection. The Resurrection with Tupac and Biggie on the front cover. I think it's on that. I don't know if it's called The Resurrection or Thug Life or whatever it's called, but I think it's on that DVD. Alright. I just want to stay on topic because as you can see, the time is running out. But I'm gonna break it all down to why I think this fight is not going to happen. Okay. I'll be back in a little. So far, contemplate all that because it's not far off from Floyd. The hip hop is not far off from Floyd. You got someone on the bottom making all the money, someone on the top who makes all the money from the guy, you know.